Okay, welcome back to what I think is week 5. We still haven't seen the queen in the Russian hive, but we've seen queen activity, tiny bits of larvae, no eggs. It's really hard to see into that old comb. But we'll look for the queen again today. I'm going to check the Russian hive first. There's a little bit more daylight. It's a little bit later in the day than we normally check. And I've got some Honeybee Healthy in a spray bottle today. If we see foundation that hasn't been drawn out, we're going to try spraying it with Honeybee Healthy and see if that'll entice them to draw it out. I've already smoked the hives, so we'll just jump right in. Found a bee that didn't quite make it last time, as is our motto. Sorry, bees. Pretty empty, only maybe an inch or so. Oh. And we're off to an amazing start. So one of the things that I just noticed...
Oh, Sean,
what?
There are maggots all over.
Yeah, we have just maggots all throughout our pollen patty. That is disgusting. That's got to be small hive beetle, which means we're not in good shape, this poor Russian hive. So much for not having small hive beetle problems in New England. Let's take a look here. Okay, so nothing going on our drone comb. Gonna give this a little spritzer. Actually, maybe we'll spritzer as we go in, not as we take out. More activity in the top box, but they're just not building out on any of the frames. Oh, here we go. Maybe make a liar out of me. A lot of brace comb, or I forget what it's called, the comb between the frames. So they call it bridge comb. So I've got some honey in there. Pretty sloppy bees. This. Okay, well this one doesn't have any brace comb there. Just again, they're just not building out. Hey, okay, so this one needs a little bit of cleanup. Let me get that done real quick. We finally have a frame that's got some build-out action going on. Look at that. What is that taking 5 weeks? Finally got some action on the foundation. One portion of one side. Start with the Honeybee Healthy spray. And I have no idea how much we're supposed to be spraying or how little we're supposed to be spraying. So this is just shoot from the hip. This work I have to scrape off that they do every week. Did you guys get the memo? Build on the foundation. Look at all this. All of our hard work, what are you doing? Sorry, bees. Not where I wanted it built. Do it over. Just squished a bee. I'm sorry, bees. So bad at this. Yeah, smoke for you. I think you can notice reoccurring trends in our videos.
I think you just need to remember to keep your hand on that little...
I'll get there. Look at the honey coming out. Man, honey right dead smack in the center of what should be the brood chamber. I don't know. I don't think that's not a good sign. Oh, it is at the top of the frame, so roll out my jump to conclusions, Matt. Look at all that honey. Looks like it was uncapped.
Oh, get them. Get a little mouth.
The tongue's on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so capped honey, lots of honey. Oh, I see some larvae. Okay, so there's a capped swarm cell right down there at the bottom. Right there. I'll show it on camera later. There's 2 uncapped swarm cells. There's some sloppy brood pattern, tiny bit of larva, mostly honey. Okay, over here we've got another capped swarm cell. A lot of capped honey. A couple uncapped swarm cells. Don't see any supersedure cells. Sorry, bees. Rolled 100 bees. Alright, so a lot of brood on this side. Capped brood. Some honey or nectar. Some uncapped. Looks like the start of a queen cup. Some capped honey. Lots of bee butts. Bees with their butts sticking out of the cells. This would be good. Can you grab the flashlight out of my front pocket here? See if you can shine a light down into the cells. Okay, this side. A lot of capped brood. I want to inspect bees without a hood. Let's see here. I don't see any larvae. Nothing that looks like it would be eggs.
Oh, hang on.
What?
Is that a queen?
Right there. That is a drone with the big eyeballs.
The big one?
Yeah, but good spotting.
Hang on, I'm gonna get it.
Good. Some uncapped swarm cells down the bottom. Looks like some capped drone cells down the bottom. Lots of, looks like a waggle dance going on right there. Oh yeah. Sweat running down the front of my nose. I don't see any larvae. I see some capped brood. Some nectar. Capped brood. Okay, a couple, like 2 larvae. Some pollen. No queen. Okay, more capped brood. Okay, little bit of larva. Maybe half a dozen. More capped drone cells. You know, I'm beginning to think...
Go lay down.
Oh, go. I don't actually think what I thought was larva is larva. I think it's just the comb is very dark, and on shallow cells gives you the illusion of larva. It's very hard to see in there. So I guess it's time to well, we're still going here, so let's see what's going on. I'm gonna shuffle some cells around, some frames around too. I'm gonna move some of these frames up top. See if they'll expand outward from there. Some more capped brood. A lot of cells that appear to be honey or nectar. A lot of bee butts sticking out at the cells. A couple waggle dances. Okay, there's a capped supersedure cell. Middle of the frame. It's a bunch of cells with holes at the top.
Down bottom.
Yeah, down here by my left hand. A couple capped drones down the bottom. There's always that one bee that gets really angry. Okay, honey, capped brood. I think this hive has been without a queen. Okay, another capped supersedure cell, another capped swarm cell. Yeah, you know, I thought maybe it was, you know, just give them more time and they'll come around, but it looks like no queen activity. Anything that was brood from past weeks is filled with honey or nectar. Not a whole lot of pollen going on. Maybe that's because they don't need it, because there's no brood. I don't know. That was wild speculation. I'm getting good at not squishing bees. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Did you just squish one?
No, but now I will. Honey, lots of honey. Pollen. Looks like I switched to bees at some point. Sorry, bees. The terror that is the beekeeper is coming again. Tell stories to the younger generation of bees. Lots of honey. And more honey. Okay. So, how am I going to do this? I'm just going to alternate the frames because there's no brood on them whatsoever. See, I had to open my mouth and say that I was getting good at not squishing bees. And I've squished like 3 since I said that. Sorry, bees. We're in this together. I'm trying to get you guys a new queen. But in the meantime, do me a favor and draw out as much comb as you can. Can you give me a smoker?
Hold that piece.
Back inside. I don't want to squish anyone. Get down. Go for cover. So what do you think I should do? Put the pollen patty in? It's going to grow more of those maggots. I suppose there's plenty of, real pollen out there.
Can we give the rest of that pollen patty with all the maggots to the chickens?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh man, that's so good.
What's that?
Honey.
Yeah.
I just stole it from the
Stole from the bees.
comb that you took off.
And that's not even capped, so they're still sweetening it up by getting the water out of it.
Oh.
Here's last week's squished bee. Sorry, bees. I try so hard, bees. Time to make some phone calls. See if we can find a queen.
You should try that guy in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I will. So then I'll have to figure out, I think you want to scrape off the supersedure and swarm queens because you don't want them flying while trying to acclimate to the new queen. Hello, Italian bees. How you doing on your sugar syrup? Oh, you emptied it right out.
I'm right in downwind of that smoke.
Sorry. Alright, checking on Italian bees. It's no surprise there, 0. Check little bees. Okay, got some activity in the center here. Look at that, look at all that pollen, a little bit of capped honey. There's our queen. Up here in the top, do we see any eggs? Do not see any eggs. Okay, well, I don't want to give her any trouble. Over here, starting to build out.
Go, Your Majesty.
Right back in. Alright. Oh, look at that. Larva, capped brood, frames cells I can see into, capped honey. Lots of larvae. Looking good. Okay. Larva on this side, capped brood, looking good. That's going to slide right back in there. Okay, oh, more larvae, more capped brood, tons of larvae. Some uncapped honey up in the corners. Look at that. Beautiful. Italian bees here, right by the book. Although, maybe the Russians are by the book too. We just didn't read the book on Russians. You know, I think, oh no, it's too early. Alright, so we have 2 out of 8 frames so far that haven't been touched. So they don't need a honey super yet. But probably next time we visit, they'll need a honey super. Bees, help me out here. There we go. A little bit of mold, looks like. Probably from lack of ventilation. Oh yeah. It has rained a little bit. We do not have a top entrance on this. The screen bottom board is open, but we don't have a top entrance.
Leon is going crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to spray this one with Honey Be Healthy because they're doing a good job at building out the comb. Just going to scrape a little bit of that mold off. Put them right back in the way I found them. So, what's a good treatment for the mold? I'll have to figure that out.
Looks like it was just where the pollen patty is sitting.
Yeah, I think it gets wet. I don't see any mold anywhere else, but I don't know if it spreads or... 4 out of 8 frames. Very well built out. I am going to spray the drone comb, because no one seems to like it. That's a piece I dropped last time. For anyone's wondering where Zayo is this week, she's down in Washington, D.C. with her grandma. Nothing going on. Okay, so a little bit of cat brood. Not really a whole lot going on in this one. They still need to build out this frame a lot here. Some cat brood on this side. Pollen. No eggs. No larvae. Some capped brood. A little bit of larva. I don't see any eggs. Looks like we got some drones up the top here along the top bar, I guess you'd call that. Top of the frame. Some more capped brood on the side. Some pollen. Don't see any larvae. The second one will be a good contender to scoop peas off of because I don't see any brood. So, okay, lots of pollen, capped brood. Again, more pollen, capped brood, some capped drones down at the bottom. A little drop of my sweat landing on them. Sorry, bees. A big drop of my sweat landing on them this time. More pollen, more capped brood. A open supersede yourself, or I guess that's a queen cup at this point, right? Because it's not full of anything, it's just open, but it's toward the top of the frame. Little one larva at the top there. More capped brood, more pollen, tons of pollen. These guys love their pollen. I'm not seeing any nectar. Larva, a little bit of larva, a couple capped drones, lots of pollen, capped brood. Okay, lots of larva, some capped brood. Still working on that frame. Some pollen. Okay. I don't think that's the best way to scoop bees. Oh no, I don't like how that's going. I wonder if that hurts them, like breaks their legs and stuff. I mean, I guess it's better than dying when you have to do the alcohol wash. This is the part that I find most hilarious. Sorry, bees. And yet they don't die. Whack the hell out of them for 30 seconds and they don't die. Uh-oh. Is that a hive beetle? Or is that just a normal beetle? It's not moving very quickly. Oh, I think it's a hive beetle. Man. Good job, little bee. And you just get covered in gross doing beekeeping. Everything's sticky. What we're gonna do now, shake all this powder out and look for mites. Let's see. Seeing some brown stuff. But I don't know if that's just pollen patty or other gunk that's stuck to my fingers. I'm not seeing any mites. They should be red or dark brown. You can see them with the naked eye pretty easily. This would be the time of the year that we should start seeing them. I didn't put my IPM boards in yesterday, I forgot. So maybe we'll put those in tonight and check them tomorrow and see if they pick up any mites. Alright, thanks for playing along, bees. Alright. Alright, hot, sweaty, and covered in powdered sugars. No way to go through life, son. Italians, looking good. Everything by the book so far. No sign of mites, although the powder sugar method that we're using is not the most effective way to check for mites. So that plus the IPM board will hopefully give us a hint if we have mites. Poor Russians, they're in sorry shape. A lot of hive beetle larvae. No queen in sight, no larva. It turns out what I thought was larva is just shallow cells along the edge that have a sheen, like larva has a sheen. At least that's what I suspect for the previous weeks, because there's no queen activity at all. They're not building out on the new frames. They need a new queen. I'm going to call around and see if I can find one. There's a lot of maggots in the Russian hive. I'm not sure what to do about that. Do you just... I'm not going to give them a pollen patty, because that seemed to be where they wanted to hang out. So, looking for advice on that. And they both got sugar syrup. The Italian's got a pollen patty. My check on the Italians so far so good. We'll report back. Thank you for watching, and if you have any advice, please leave it, because we could sure use it. Thank you. So that plus the IPM board